Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. Disney's latest film is the musical Frozen, which will kick off the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. And I'm here at Joe Allen with one of its stars, Santino Fontana. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
So, I love this film. It's one of my all-time favorite Disney films.
Great, thank you.
So, how did you get attracted to this?
There was a script. Well, first of all, I came into audition for Jamie Roberts, who's the casting director, for Tangled originally. And she really liked me for that, and she was the only one. And then, and then she had me come back for, at the time it was called The Snow Queen. And that was a different version. I auditioned for the role of Kristoff, who at the time was a tour guide to this small community. And then they said it was put on the shelf, it was over. And then it came back a couple years later, and this time they wanted me to come back. And the director, Chris Buck, remembered me. And he asked me to come back for the role of Hans. And then I came in and auditioned, and I sang. At the time, the description was kind of Gaston-esque, but a little more heightened, or a little more royal. And so I sang I Am Pretty instead of I Feel Pretty. And and they liked that. And then, it was a long callback process of like doing it over and over and over again, and then finally found out last summer, right after the workshop of Cinderella. So that was it.
So when did you go in and start recording?
Immediately. So I found out in like July, and then I'd say the first session was in August, and I did 5 sessions overall, some in LA, some here, and and then a couple weeks ago we saw it for the first time, and it's incredible.
All right, so what was it like watching yourself up there?
Really? Well, it's not me. That's, it's bizarre.
It's the new you.
It's bizarre seeing your voice coming out of someone that's not you. That's what I could not wrap my head around. So the first time I saw the movie, I couldn't tell you if I liked it or I didn't like it. I could not figure out, because I also, you don't read the script. So I just knew my scenes. So I knew roughly what my character was going to do, but even that changed without me knowing it. So the rest of the movie was a huge surprise. So the first time seeing it was me getting used to hearing my voice come out of this guy with red hair, and also getting the story. And then the second time watching it, I was able to really get the movie and loved it. I thought it was so moving and funny and exciting and action-filled. So.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about working with your directors, Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee, and Jennifer also wrote it.
Yes.
So how do you work on something like this when you're just giving a voice?
It's the best. It's the best. It's probably the most liberating I've ever felt as an actor, because your only job is to be a generator of options. You're not there to edit. You're not there to decide what the best choice is. Your job is to create a bunch of material for them. So, you would read a scene, they give you a scene and they kind of tell you, this is what we're thinking is happening, this is what you see, and they maybe show you some slides of like, this is where we are, or this is what's going on. And then you read the scene. Not with the actor who's in the scene, just with a reader. And then you would read it as many ways as, they would let me read it as many ways as I thought it could go. And then they would offer up some ideas, they would ask me if I had questions, we would maybe try some different lines, they'd have me ad-lib or improv a little bit, and then that was it. But so it was really it's an actor's dream to be able to just unload all this creativity and then say, okay, you go do what you want with it. It's not my job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to repeat it. I also don't have to adhere to the script, because I don't know the script. So I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm just playing the scene.
So let's talk a little bit about Hans. What can you tell us about him without giving anything away?
Sure. Hans is a Disney prince. He's a Disney prince. And he's looking for, when he meets Kristen Bell's character, Anna, I think they really are almost looking at mirror images of each other. They both are royal, but they don't really fit in. They're both a little awkward. And they kind of find what they're needing, what they want. And then as soon as he falls in love with Anna, with this great song that Bobby and Kristen wrote called Love is an Open Door, then, craziness ensues and danger happens, and then Hans kind of steps up to the plate to take over while Anna goes and finds Elsa, Idina Menzel's character. That's it. And then it changes in various ways. No one is what they appear to be in this movie, which is what I love about it.
Yeah, let's talk about this beautiful score.
Yeah. Now, the book is, the songs are incredible. And Christoph Beck also did the underscoring, which is also gorgeous. But yeah, Bobby and Kristen wrote these really, funny, moving, catchy songs, which are great. I mean, when I heard "Let It Go," I was like, well, that's going to be sung forever. Every audition, you're going to be walking down the audition room hallways and hearing people singing that song. And I thought when we recorded "Love's an Open Door," and I recorded that with Kristen, I said this is going to be sung like at weddings and in karaoke bars. This is going to happen, and I think it's true.
Yeah, it's a new, beautiful Disney song.
Yeah.
So you recorded that together?
We did. She was like 8 months pregnant. I was in previews of Cinderella. Flew out at night. It was kind of like a crazy time period. And recorded it together because I think they wanted to make sure the keys were right and they wanted to make sure that we synced up on it right. And so yeah, I flew out there for like 8 hours, sang the song, and then came back to Do I Love You Because You're Beautiful.
I was asking the girls and some of the guys what it was like being a Disney character. I mean, was it ever a dream of yours, like to do a Disney film?
It's the cliche that you always hear actors say, "Oh, it was my dream," and I'm like, how many dreams do you have? Does everyone have a dream of being this part? Every show someone's in, it's like, "Oh, this is my dream." No, every time. How many dreams of your life are realized? All of them go away. This I have to say though, in college or in high school, my senior year of high school. There was a jazz choir that I was in at my local college that they let me sing in. And I remember we were singing in the car ride. Someone was singing A Whole New World because we were going to some jazz thing, concert. And someone said, you could be like a Disney voice. I was like, I would love to be a Disney voice. I don't know that I ever said it would be my dream, but I'd say it's the closest to like something as a kid. I mean, I remember watching Aladdin. And loving Aladdin, loving Robin Williams in Aladdin, loving the character and the music. And I remember thinking, oh, this is so awesome, So to be able to be on the other side of that it's pretty close to a dream come true. I mean, it's great. It's awesome. I could never have imagined it.
What I love about what Disney has done is they use a lot of theater, Broadway actors, performers to do the voices.
Yeah.
Do you think it's easier having that background? That it works well
Yes.
between Broadway and these kind of films?
I do. I think so, totally. I mean, not that long ago, they used to have a different voice for the acting compared to the singing. And I think John Lasseter was the guy who finally was like, no, we're going to find people who can do both because they're out there. And, everybody in our cast, Jonathan Groff, Josh Gad, me, Dina, Kristen Bell was on Broadway. Alan Tudyk. Everybody has a pretty strong theater background. And especially Broadway musicals. So I think it's smart on their part, and I think it does benefit the movie definitely.
Okay, you are now a Disney doll.
I'm a Disney doll.
How exciting is that?
That's really exciting. It's really weird. It also looks nothing like me, so I'm okay with it. But if it looked like me, that'd be trippy. But he has red hair, so there's so many. No, and there's like a box, and people in fans of Cinderella have sent me the doll to sign and send back to them, which I have done. It's hard to wrap your head around.
Would you like to do more of these?
Yeah. You gonna hire me?
I'll hire you.
Let's do it.
We'll put something together.
I would love to do more of these. I think it's so fun because you're not stuck by anything visual. You can literally just let your imagination go wild, and then let somebody else, collaborate on that.
So 2 princes. Do I see a trend here?
No, and the trend will end this year. Trust me. You know me. I don't like doing anything too long. So, and these 2 princes are very different.
Yeah.
Prince Hans is very, very, very different than Prince Topher. But, my year of Prince will come to an end, and then I'll find the next thing.
So if you could sum up the best part of the experience with working on Frozen, what would it be for you?
Oh boy. I mean, I loved working with Jen and Chris and Peter Delvecco, the producer. I loved that creative process. I think that was and then to be able to go away from it and be able to be surprised by this huge gift in a way that we've all been given because we're in it. and to be so proud of what it is. So proud to have been a small part of it. Because it's really, I mean, people, they focus on the act, especially at this time of the process. They focus on us as the performers and for our performances, but they're really the animators' performances.
Yeah.
And they took what we kind of, we give a little idea, and then they, make it into this work of art. And that's to be a part of that collaborative process is great.
Well, it's a stunning film. Thank you for sitting with me on
Thank
your
you
day
for
off
having
and your
me.
beginning of your vacation from Cinderella.
Yes.
And we'll see all of you at the movies. Frozen kicks off on Thanksgiving weekend.
For the first time in forever, I'm getting dreaming of. Be the good girl you always have to. A chance to
If we don't do something soon, we'll all freeze to death. Stop the winter, please.
Don't you see? I can't.
You know it all ends tomorrow, so it has to be today.
Let's go bring back summer!
I'm not leaving without you, Elsa.
For the first time.
Olaf, you're melting.
Some people are worth melting for. You're just maybe not right this second.
Nothing's in my